David Levin, and welcome to another scintillating episode of Pop Goes the Culture, the inside scoop on TV stories you might not know from the people who were there. Today, the great Ed Asner goes into more details on his role in some of the earliest TV miniseries, Roots and Rich Man, Poor Man. Plus, he talks about his favorite guest stars on Lou Grant.
I had left my double-edged razor partially open and forgot about it. And I was late for work as usual. And I raced into the bathroom and started shaving. I brought up my razor and did that. And cut a flap off my sideburn. So I screamed bloody murder. My daughter came running out from her end of the house, said, "Are you all right?" I said, "No." So called the show, went immediately to St. Joseph's Hospital. Waited a long time, and fortunately it was worth the wait. A plastic surgeon came along, put 20 stitches in there, and I worked that afternoon. Wow. They had a Band-Aid over it, and I said, "What'd you do?" He said, "Oh, I was trying to save time and shaving when I was showering, and I slipped."
Are we having fun?
No, I'm a sick man.
You're sick?
I'm getting sicker the longer I sit here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We'll get you out.
David is just...
I'm in pain.
He's horrifying.
Oh, I could have told you that.
Well, why didn't you?
But you didn't ask.
I don't expect to have to ask you. I thought after all we've been to each other.
I should tell you. You know what? I apologize profusely.
The fact that you're young and beautiful, you think you're going to have excuses?
No excuses, I'm apologizing.
Accepted.
Good.
She can't hear us now. Yes, she can.
Bitch. Such a bitch.
Yeah, she's just the worst. It's just like, and we can't get rid of her because everybody wants her.
Well, she does windows. That's the saving grace.
That was the window right up there.
That outfit, it kind of makes you think of Carol Burnett, doesn't it? all she needs is a mop.
Did you ever do the Carol Burnett show?
No.
No?
Did they have guests? I guess they had stars.
All
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
On Lou Grant, you had a whole bunch of stars, didn't you? Coming on every week. It was like a different...
Oh my God, I can remember Ed Harris, and Peter Weller, Brian Dennehy. They were in the same show.
Wow.
That was once again the brain. We were just talking about something, and I had a point to make. About something else I made. I'll never remember.
Mad About You, you did, right?
Hmm.
What'd you play on Mad About You?
I played her father.
Right, with Carol Burnett.
What?
Wasn't Carol Burnett play her mom? No?
Oh.
Whose mom did she play?
I never worked with Carol Burnett.
Really?
You got something there that says different?
No, I believe you. I believe
If it was, it wasn't memorable. I worked with Carol Burnett. Oh, I know what it was. We used to do a show called Insight for the Paulist Fathers in this town. And they came up with a phenomenal script on Adam and Eve. And I played God. And I had a shiny suit on and a bowler. And it was one of the funniest characters I ever made. The show was brilliant. Carol was wonderful as Eve. Walter was wonderful. But they both played hopscotch, implying that the other didn't want it to be released in a national way on television. So it eventually became, because they resisted to such a, and I always wonder, was because I was so good.
Typecasting,
Yeah.
I think. Couple of really memorable parts that you played. Roots, quite amazing. Take any flack for Roots?
Take any flack?
Well, I mean, it's, did people get confused between your character and who you were?
No, but of course this is the point where my agent and I really wanted to do contrasting characters. And they had offered me another role on the show initially, and I said, no, I've done that. I said, but the captain, and my thrust, my drive there, was to play the good Nazi, who, being the good Nazi, eventually becomes consumed by the Nazism he associates with. So I thought that came off well.
It was a great part.
As much as I hated my hair goods. Hated them.
Really?
Hated them. Worst makeup person in the world.
That's why I'm glad we got Jennifer.
Huh?
That's why I'm glad we got
Well, I don't know what she's like on hair goods.
So far, so good.
Yeah?
So far, so good.
Have you worn one of her beards?
No comment. How about Rich Man, Poor Man? Another great part.
That was the ne plus ultra for me. I never expected to do the role. We turned it down once because they didn't have the bottom line money. And I was in mourning at turning it down. I didn't think I was right for it either. But they came back. Thank God for trying to remember my producer, and I can't. I feel terrible. But I thought the miniseries was an improvement over the book. I thought the changes they made, the amalgamations they made, turning Susan Blakely into one character from three characters. And I thought that one character worked phenomenally.
Yeah.
They made two different changes in my character, which ameliorated the gross brutality. Most people probably wouldn't recognize it except on an unconscious level. But when I went to the school to confront the French teacher, in the book it's over Rudy, Peter Strauss. And the miniseries, it's for Tom, Nick Nolte. So it shows that no matter how much I slap him around, I still did things to keep him going, to fight for him. Same thing when he got into trouble in knocked somebody up in the miniseries. It's California. In the book, it's Ohio. Now they're in New York. Traveling from New York to Ohio wouldn't be a big deal, but at that time, for the old man to go all the way to California to bail his son out, that meant something. So I bled for that character.
It was a great character.
Yeah.
It was a great character. That was probably the first real miniseries that they did on TV, wasn't it? Rich Man, Poor Man.
There was one before that. I can't remember what it was though.
But that was the first really lengthy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most of them, there were like a couple of two-parter type things, but I think that was the first one. Where they said we're going to take a week and just go for it. It was pretty amazing. I remember, and that's before VCRs. So you were glued to your TV every single day. You were into it. You were into it. You were totally paying attention to it.
That's right.
That is it for now. Next time, Ed talks about the great Ted Knight who played Ted Baxter, working on other TV series, and how much fun it is to do cartoon voices. Till then, I'm David Levin. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time. Hey. If you want to keep these conversations going, help me out by becoming a Patreon subscriber. Just $3 a month gets you first dibs on Ask Them Yourself call-ins.